The last case that we want to look at is State versus Inyama. That case presents a probable cause issue that I'm frequently asked about in class, and that is probable cause to believe that someone is on the premises, whether it's their own premises or a third party's premises, when a warrant is being executed. As you know, if you have an arrest warrant for a subject and you reasonably believe that they're home, you may execute that warrant without the benefit of a search warrant. The problem arises when they're not home and they're at the residence of a third party, such as a girlfriend, mother, relative, friend. That's the situation that you had in State versus Inyama. Again, the statute provides an officer must have reasonable cause to believe the person to be arrested is present. As we'll see in just a moment, we look at the search warrant. The officers had an arrest warrant for Mr. Inyama. They went to the girlfriend's residence, who would not give them permission to search the residence when they called her at her place of employment. They therefore then obtained a search warrant. Here is what the search warrant contained. I have been diligently searching for the subject by the name of Victor Inyama, wanted for speeding, failure to appear. Through our law enforcement database, I developed information that he was cited while driving a 1998 Cadillac DeVille. Officer Carpenter and I responded to the address assigned to the vehicle. The registered owner is Natasha Montgomery. Upon arrival, we spoke with Mr. Becote, who is Miss Montgomery's stepfather. Mr. Becote advised that Mr. Inyama is Miss Natasha Montgomery's boyfriend. Through the researching of Raleigh utilities, it was found that Miss Natasha Montgomery resides at 217-101 Merrill Drive. Prior to conducting a knock and talk, I heard items being moved by the front door and muffled speech. Officer Carpenter advised that the shades were open to the patio deck. I began to knock on the door and announcing myself when I heard subjects frantically moving about the residence. Officer Carpenter then advised that the shades on the patio deck were closed. Through multiple attempts of heavy knocking and announcing, no one came to the door. Miss Montgomery has 2 vehicles registered in her name. Both are on the scene, including the vehicle that Mr. Inyama was seen operating. At 3:55 p.m., Sergeant Paulzak spoke with Miss Montgomery via telephone. She stated no one should be inside her residence. When I asked who was inside, she advised she did not know. She advised that the suspect, Mr. Inyama, should not be inside the residence, and he was last there a few days ago. Miss Montgomery would not give verbal consent for the police to enter with a key they had obtained from the apartment management. Now again, the question is, have the officers established probable cause, more probable than not, that Mr. Inyama was at that residence? Let's see what the court stated. Despite no direct evidence defendant was in the apartment, the affidavit considered by the magistrate indicated that the 1998 Cadillac, which defendant was driving on a prior occasion when stopped by the police, was parked outside the girlfriend's apartment. A second vehicle registered to defendant's girlfriend was in the lot. Although defendant's girlfriend informed police no one should be inside the apartment, and the defendant was last seen there a few days earlier, the police could hear several male voices inside the apartment. Defendant's girlfriend indicated she did not know who was inside, and considering the evidence within the 4 corners of the affidavit, we hold there was sufficient evidence from which the magistrate could find probable cause to believe the defendant was inside the apartment. So in getting back to the question is, how do you establish probable cause that somebody is at the location that you seek the warrant for? It is from the totality of the circumstances. The officers in this case did an excellent job stating fact after fact, painting an entire picture of facts that would give rise to believe that there's a fair probability that that person was indeed inside. Again, it is articulation that establishes probable cause.